Good morning, everyone. Welcome today to this very special insight that I got, and I felt that we need to work on it. And 1 minute, just give me a minute. Yeah. So, we all have tears. We all have grief. We all have sadness, or we all have a kind of emotional insecurity that sits inside us, isn't it? And that all basically leads to this. The catharsis that happens is only when we really allow those tears to come out or just let them go. Even if it is momentary, we do feel a sense of relief, right? So today, we are not just healing our tears. Today, we are going to release that grief. Today, we are going to release all that grief that we have from karmic and ancestral memory. We are touching those tears that were never allowed to fall. In who? In our parents, in our grandparents, and in the silent, let's say, passages of our ancestors. Right? Many of us, in fact, all of us, were taught to be strong. Be strong. But strength without release becomes stored grief if it doesn't get a relief, right? So look at this father who lost his business, but he never cried in front of the family. Instead, he became strict, he became distant, he became emotionally unavailable. The child grows up believing emotions are weakness. Now, don't just think about yourself and your father. Maybe look back at your grandfather. Maybe if you had an opportunity to spend time with your great-grandfather as a child. Think about it. That, in the process, the child grows up believing emotions are weakness. So you have a very different pattern set up in the whole family system. A mother who lost a parent early, yet continued caring for everyone, never grieving fully. Look at yourselves also. Has there been unfortunate occasion that your parent has passed on and you have the responsibility and you continue to care for everyone? Seeing that as a release, not allowing yourself to grieve fully. Now again, go back to your parents and grandparents and look at it. Think about it. The daughter learns to suppress pain and learns to overfunction. This is passed on. That's the way it is supposed to be. Let's say some elder sibling who had grown up very fast because of a family crisis. We know about these situations that keep happening in life, right? So that sibling becomes responsible, taking on the complete responsibility, but is totally emotionally blocked. Does not feel that it is, nobody will understand what she goes through or what she is feeling or what she needs to express, because she's always seen as that person who is there. I'm there to take charge. So this also becomes a reason for emotional blocks. Look at a partner in a relationship who never processed any betrayal or heartbreak. Some of you may have gone through, betrayals or heartbreaks either in relationships or in a partner. So what happens? If there is a silent resentment that is being carried on inside, that, I have been wronged, they have done this to me, and, many other forms of resentment, whether it is monetary or physical or, in society or even in, properties or whatever else it may be. So what happens? You are carrying that resentment, and that resentment affects the next relationship or any new relationship that you may want to build up on, because there's always doubt, there's always suspicion, there is resentment, there is judgment, there is expectation, or you think that these are my boundaries and this is the way a person has to perform. Have you seen it in the past in the family? Haven't there been some uncles and aunts or generationally other people who are always taunting, or are always sort of holding a resentment against somebody or the other? But in the DNA as a family system, it does get passed on, right? And let's look at this, if a family went through a financial collapse, total breakdown, that family is teaching the next generation to fear loss, hoard security, and suppress vulnerability. Think about it. Has it happened with you that you have become so fist tight that you do not allow yourself even a little bit of luxury, because what will happen if I don't have that? Or save it for a rainy day, which is good, saving for a rainy day, but so fist tight that you fear ki if I don't have it, I'll lose it, what will happen to me? Because that's the way you've grown up, in scarcity, in lack. And that lack could also have led to lack of feelings, lack of emotions, lack of love, lack of security, lack of so many other things. So you suppress your vulnerability also. Look at a child who watches his parents fight during all hard times. Look at your parents. If something like that was always happening also. So what does that child do? It silently stores all the fear and grief in the body, because that then affects the next phase of their lives. Sometimes certain people like this, who have always seen constant fights or disagreements or shouting and screaming at each other by parents, they may not divorce. But then this child doesn't know how to formulate a relationship, and any screaming or shouting or any disagreement is seen as a red flag. And many people, without going into the wisdom and maturity of it, land up in either divorces, separations, or maybe passing it on to the next generation of your children. Right? So remember, grief does not disappear, it just travels from one to the other, from karmic memory, from generational trauma, and from ancestral silence. When tears are not shed, remember, they become what? Physically, mentally, emotionally, they become like a tightness in the chest. You feel that very often. It becomes unexplained anger. It becomes emotional numbness. It turns into fear of vulnerability and an inability to experience catharsis. Also, a difficulty in crying when the heart is very heavy. Unfortunately, a lot of, worldwide, it was also taught that strong men don't cry and strong women take it on themselves and they also don't cry. Was it needed? No. Did it help? No. Did it lead to any kind of solution for the future generations, or, family or friends or anything? No. So what are we going to do today? Today's meditation is about allowing catharsis, not as a weakness, but as a spiritual awakening. Because remember, when tears flow, the karmic knots that we have, all the entanglements, they start loosening up. When grief is released, ancestral chains become softer. In the sense that, okay, gradually it can be allowed to let go. And when we cry consciously, we liberate 7 generations behind and 7 generations ahead. Cry consciously. You're releasing. Because remember, it is all stored energetically and it is coming down maybe as a pattern, right? So you are allowing yourself to just let go and cry and cry and cry it out. Or whatever other form of release that gives you a catharsis. Not wines and intoxication, that is not catharsis. So when you do this, you are liberating people behind you because you are the one who's allowing it to come out through you. And that is also what we are doing through Radical, to help you, allow you to come out through whatever you may have gone through, whatever your family may have gone through, whatever your generations may have gone through, right? So we are learning to heal across time and space, all right? So close your eyes, take a deep breath, breathe in gently, and breathe out fully. As you breathe in, visualize yourself keeping this intention, telling your family, your ancestors, and generations before that, across time and space. Keep that intention that today I allow myself to release all the stored grief and lead to catharsis. And in the process, I humbly request your guidance, your support, your blessings to make this happen for us today, for the future generations, and for all of you to be eased out. Breathe in, intention. Breathe out, release. And visualize or sense, that you're doing it across time and space. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Return to normal breathing. Invoke your healing masters, healing guides, healing angels, your higher consciousness, radical consciousness, love consciousness, prosperity consciousness. This is prosperity of the mind, of the body, of the soul. Seek their guidance, seek their assurance, seek their understanding, seek their blessings to help you be the authority today, to help heal across time and space all the generations and lead them to catharsis in such a way that as you walk the journey ahead connecting to your eternal consciousness, Your journey and the future journeys ahead of you, of generations after you, will become easy and effortless. Collect all your personal thoughts wherever they are in the universe. See them centering you. And when you feel centered, take a deep breath and recite with me or after me. I archive my stored tears from past setbacks. I archive my stored tears from past setbacks. I archive my stored tears from past setbacks. I archive my inherited pattern of suppressing grief to appear strong. I archive my inherited pattern of suppressing grief to appear strong. I archive my inherited pattern of suppressing grief to appear strong. I archive my belief that crying makes me weak. I archive my belief that crying makes me weak. I archive my belief that crying makes me weak. I archive my ancestral conditioning to endure silently. I archive my ancestral conditioning to endure silently. I archive my ancestral conditioning to endure silently. I archive my karmic memory of loss that I have been carrying unconsciously. I archive my karmic memory of loss that I have been carrying unconsciously. I archive my karmic memory of loss that I have been carrying unconsciously. I archive my fear of breaking down emotionally. I archive my fear of breaking down emotionally. I archive my fear of breaking down emotionally. I archive my guilt of prioritizing my grief over responsibilities. I archive my guilt of prioritizing my grief over responsibilities. I archive my guilt of prioritizing my grief over responsibilities. I archive my need to prove my worth by ignoring my tears. I archive my need to prove my worth by ignoring my tears. I archive my need to prove my worth by ignoring my tears. I archive my association of internal suffering with maturity. I archive my association of internal suffering with maturity. I archive my association of internal suffering with maturity. I archive my tendency to show a brave face during deep emotional pain. I archive my tendency to show a brave face during deep emotional pain. I archive my tendency to show a brave face during deep emotional pain. I archive the emotional numbness developed after major losses. I archive the emotional numbness developed after major losses. I archive the emotional numbness developed after major losses. I archive my resistance to acknowledging unresolved family grief. I archive my resistance to acknowledging unresolved family grief. I archive my resistance to acknowledging unresolved family grief. I archive my fear that if I start crying, I may never stop. I archive my fear that if I start crying, I may never stop. I archive my fear that if I start crying, I may never stop. I archive the generational belief that emotions should be controlled. I archive the generational belief that emotions should be controlled. I archive the generational belief that emotions should be controlled. I archive the suppressed grief from broken relationships and betrayals. I archive the suppressed grief from broken relationships and betrayals. I archive the suppressed grief from broken relationships and betrayals. I archive the sadness of unmet childhood emotional needs. I archive the sadness of unmet childhood emotional needs. I archive the sadness of unmet childhood emotional needs. I archive the grief connected to financial instability and loss of security. I archive the grief connected to financial instability and loss of security. I archive the grief connected to financial instability and loss of security. I archive my anger that is actually unexpressed sorrow. I archive my anger that is actually unexpressed sorrow. I archive my anger that is actually unexpressed sorrow. I archive my burden of carrying my parents' and ancestors' emotional pain. I archive my burden of carrying my parents' and my ancestors' emotional pain. I archive my burden of carrying my parents' and my ancestors' emotional pain. I archive my compulsion to stay strong for everyone at the cost of myself. I archive my compulsion to stay strong for everyone at the cost of myself. I archive my compulsion to stay strong for everyone at the cost of myself. I archive the karmic block that prevents my emotional catharsis. I archive the karmic block that prevents my emotional catharsis. I archive the karmic block that prevents my emotional catharsis. I archive my fear of vulnerability in relationships. I archive my fear of vulnerability in relationships. I archive my fear of vulnerability in relationships. I archive my resistance to emotional healing and release. I archive my resistance to emotional healing and release. I archive my resistance to emotional healing and release. I archive all stored grief in my body, mind, and energy field. I archive all my stored grief in my body, mind, and energy field. I archive all my stored grief in my body, my mind, and energy field. I archive the illusion that holding on to grief protects me. I archive the illusion that holding on to grief protects me. I archive the illusion that holding on to grief protects me. Now just take a deep breath and let's look at the spiritual and awakening resolution affirmations that can help us. With soul's love, I now allow myself to feel safely and completely. With soul's love, I now allow myself to feel safely and completely. With soul's love, I give myself permission to cry, release, and heal. With soul's love, I give myself permission to cry, release, and heal. With soul's love, I honor my ancestors by healing what they could not. With soul's love, I honor my ancestors by healing what they could not. With soul's love, I break the cycle of silent suffering. With soul's love, I break the cycle of silent suffering. With soul's love, I choose emotional authenticity over false strength. With soul's love, I choose emotional authenticity over false strength. With soul's love, I free my body from stored sorrow. With soul's love, I free my body from stored sorrow. With soul's love, I welcome catharsis as divine cleansing. With soul's love, I welcome catharsis as divine cleansing. With soul's love, I trust that tears purify my karmic imprints. With soul's love, I trust that tears purify my karmic imprints. With soul's love, I feel lighter as my grief dissolves. With soul's love, I feel lighter as my grief dissolves. With soul's love, I awaken spiritually as I release emotionally. With soul's love, I awaken spiritually as I release emotionally. Stay in this space. Feel all these very deep learnings today and affirmations. Fill every cell, every fiber, every muscle, every tissue, every organ, and every chakra of your body. Feel the lightness, feel the pulsation in the chakras. Feel the synchronicity and alignment taking place. And when you feel all this, place one hand on your heart and one on your solar chakra. And let's listen to what Radical has to guide us. Grief is not your enemy, it is unexpressed love. When someone dies and we do not cry, it is love that had no outlet. When a relationship ends and we move away too quickly, it is attachment that had no closure. When financial loss makes us numb, it is the fear of seeking acknowledgement. Catharsis is sacred, crying is cleansing, and howling is releasing survival energy that is trapped in the nervous system. From a karmic lens, unresolved grief becomes repeating patterns. From a generational lens, suppressed emotion becomes inherited behavior. From an ancestral lens, silent suffering becomes lineage trauma. Today you are choosing awareness. Today you are choosing catharsis. You are choosing to end emotional suppression as a badge of honor. Let the tears come. Let the body tremble. Let the breath deepen. You are not collapsing. You are awakening. And to make this understood well, here is the final affirmation mantra from Radical. With soul's love, I recognize and resolve my reserved grief. With soul's love, I allow sacred catharsis to cleanse my karmic, generational, and ancestral burdens. With soul's love, I move forward in emotional freedom. With soul's love, I recognize and resolve my reserved grief. With soul's love, I allow sacred catharsis to cleanse my karmic, generational, and ancestral burdens. With soul's love, I move forward in emotional freedom. Take a deep breath. Absorb this affirmation as it fills every part again and aligns you. Feel the light spreading all inside you. And when you feel a sense of completion and fulfillment, rub your palms together, cup your eyes, massage your face, your scalp, your neck, your body, your legs. Feel yourself grounded. Feel yourself aligned. And when you feel a sense of total completion and lightness, take another deep breath and open your eyes. Today has been a very deep guidance. I'm sure all of you must have also had some feelings or thoughts or emotions crossing your mind, or maybe some awakening or realization. If there's anything you'd like to share with others so that it becomes a kind of learning, please say it now. Yes, Snigdha?
Hello, ma'am. With as the recitation progressed, is when I realized there's so much stored in my heart,
Mm-hmm.
and my heart is, it feels like it's still releasing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just set the intent that let it all flow through. And the final words that you've given obviously is helping with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. Great. Yeah, this is a very deep one today, and I was guided, and I was in another space for about nearly an hour, and I didn't realize it. And
Mm.
simple words kept coming as a download. So then I formulated them. I said, yes, this is something we all need to be with. And interestingly, if I look at the people, wow, we have such a big group today. Beautiful. Thank you all for coming. Because your consciousness called out for you to be here today. And that itself is a big learning, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ruth. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
So
Thank you so much.
wonderful.
Thank you, ma'am.
It
Manisha
Can I
here.
say something?
One
resonated
by
so
one,
much.
one by one, one by one. Yes, Parmeet?
Resonated so much, see, and as you were saying the statements, na, each and every sentence was going in like, and it was many stored emotions are coming out like.
Right. Once we become aware, and that is why each and every emotion was talked about. So once we become aware, and if we just do this whole recitation, listen to it or practice it once in a month also, it'll be great, because I'm sure a lot of release will continue to happen. We go on trying to heal ourselves, with sessions and other things, which is also great. We need that help. But we can also auto heal ourselves to a great degree. If not 100%, we can do it at least 40 to 50%. And why not? We are capable of it. We are awakened souls, and we can do it to ourselves. Thank you, Parmeet. I like
Thank you
your
so
smile
much.
as usual. Right. Let
And
me first.
nowadays, I feel like if something happens, no, I have, I mean, I see that, I mean, I think every time masters are guiding me with
Yeah,
statements and everything. So this will go through smoothly.
yeah.
So always,
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And before I talk to Manisha and Ruby, I'll just read what's in the chat. Neha says lots of deep yawns. So grateful, ma'am. Sure, a lot healed inside. Very true, Neha. And the yawns are a big, big release. Thank you, Manisha. Asha says she dozed off, which is also good. That is your body relaxing and accepting your consciousness. Subconscious is accepting all the messages that have come today. Darshana said, my whole life went in a flashback, so much suppression. So, Darshana, you can do this recitation, I don't know, every 15 days if you wish to, and see how it affects you, how it impacts you, not affects you. Midhu says, yesterday I was crying due to my resolved family grief for years, and now I was crying during the whole recitation. Good. Cry, howl, Midhu, let it all out. Don't hold back to it. Thank you, Shirisha. Pratiksha says it's a calm and deeply meditative space, still not completely back in the moment. Thank you so much. Thank you. Darshana,
Ma'am,
1 minute, Pooja. Thank
yes.
you so much. Snigdha says, Srividya says, thank you. Pooja, I'll go one by one. First, it is Manisha who wants to say something. After that,
Okay.
I'll come to you. Okay, I'll call out your
Okay.
name. Yes, Manisha.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good
So
morning.
today, after a very long time, I could attend. I think after a couple of months, more than. This is 2025. In the last month, I don't remember, and February is ending. And though I'd been wanting, but for some or the other reason, I couldn't in the morning at 10 o'clock. And then today, I had a dream, not very specific, but I could understand it was regarding all my life. Still, I have lived till now. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I could get that count also and everything. And I was just thinking, okay, so time to work on all these lives. And I opened it and I saw Catharsis. That is when I really wanted to join, and I just thought that and when I logged in, I mean, recitation had just started, so I think it is absolutely divinely guided and it meant a lot. And I was very happy to see that you were recording because I really wanted to hear it again and again.
No, I do record when I'm in the country. If I'm not here, I can't do it.
Yeah, I saw, but past me, I mean, I really wanted it to hear it multiple times. So thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you to the universe and divine
yeah.
for all the guidance.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
Manisha. I'm glad
thank
and
you.
welcome back. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, Ruby.
Ma'am, it was amazing, wonderful. I'm speechless because I don't know where have you taken me in that recitation, and when I was reciting with my closed eyes, there was something which was shifting, and I could feel that.
Okay. Awesome.
And still, I never wanted to open my eyes. When in the conversation, Abhi, somebody said I'm yawning, I started yawning crazily.
Good. Keep yawning. Let it all come out, and don't try to stop it by doing this.
Yeah.
निकालो उसको सबको निकालो सब कुछ निकाल दो.
ठीक.
Okay. Great.
Thank you so,
Thank
so,
you.
so much. A
No.
big, big gratitude to you, to Radical Everything.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Pooja. Pooja wanted to say something. Yes,
Yes,
Pooja?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's a really very wonderful experience today we had, and thanks to you. And I cried, and I am yawning now a lot.
Wonderful. That's a good sign, very good sign, Pooja. You'll start understanding this, that all the yawning that keeps happening, or, you know,
I am still yawning
good.
while
Continue.
talking.
Continue. This is guided by the masters, and I'm so
Yeah.
grateful that it has
So,
reached out to all of us in such a beautiful way. Yeah. Thank
yes,
you, Pooja.
ma'am.
Yes, Snigdha, you
Thank you
want
so much, ma'am. Thank
to,
you.
yes, Snigdha, you want to say something else?
Yes, ma'am. When you started, no, just before you started, when you
Yeah.
explained everything,
Yeah.
there was an image. I was closing my eyes, and the image was this. You have this chutney, right? Spilled chutney, which is like a mess,
Uh-huh.
which is closed up, wrapped up tightly in a carpet,
Uh,
not allowed to come out.
uh-huh.
So basically, stored for grief and all the mess that happened, all the trauma stored for generations together. And
Right.
that was sitting on my head like a heavy weight. And
Okay.
as you went through the words, each word, it has come down, it has flowed down. There's a little bit in the heart that will flow down. So I just wanted to say thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, Ruby, again, you want to say something or is it from before?
My left upper forearm and my calf left is paining.
Okay, so look up the body talk and see why is it paining.
Okay.
You'll get your answer immediately. And
Okay.
that is because you have to give out something to the world. Check what is it that you are not doing or doing. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. I'll be posting the recording a little later today. I have some urgent work that I have to go out for, and then I'll come back and post it. Okay? So don't think it will not be posted. It will be posted. Okay? All the
Okay, ma'am.
best. Have a
When
great
we
day.
start, hello.
Sorry?
Ma'am, hello. When we started, now my head is so heavy, but after that, everything is,
Good,
yeah,
good. Just yawn.
really like,
Keep yawning and enjoy yourself.
yes,
Okay?
ma'am.
All the
Thank
best.
you, I'm so
Thank
grateful.
Okay. Bye bye, all of you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye bye.